I was planning to invite this renowned international speaker to Yali to give the faculty members some kind of hands-on how to formulate and how to write learning outcomes. And the idea came to me when I thought, why don't we just make it on a larger scale? So not only the Yali faculty members benefit from that, because I believe in collaboration, because together we grow. When it comes to accreditation, it's not like a stamp you get on a piece of paper. It's a procedure. It is a testimony that this institution is doing what it has to do. It has to do in terms of quality. So all the procedures that you have in place in the institution are certified as being with high quality. So it is a certificate that our students are up to the standard.
In the NCAAA, at institutional level, there are across 11 standards which embrace things from governance and the council itself through the teaching and learning, includes in things like employment processes, includes things like library resources. So perhaps a spectrum of areas that they're concerned with in terms of the criteria for the quality assurance of accreditation are much broader.
If I would quote from the feedback I got from the faculty members, they said it came just in time.
Well, a lot of my work over the recent years has been in the Middle East. For the last 3 or 4 years, a lot of time with NCAAA, but equally in Bahrain, where I've worked with the Higher Education Council as well, and their system. In fact, I helped design their equivalent of the accreditation process for the Bahraini government. I've also then helped institutions to go through the mock review processes where they've tried to do a practice run first, and from people who've attended some of the programs, I've helped them as institutions as they start preparing for the accreditation process. And given that the focus of the delegates was within the academic community, they were mainly faculty, we focused on Standard 4, which is relating to the teaching and learning processes. So we spent quite a lot of time in day one looking at the issues around learning outcomes, teaching and assessment strategies to make sure that the specifications, the design of the programs were comfortably sitting within the framework. The second day looked at making sure that once it's designed, that before the programs ran, that there was an approval process which ensured that the design was secure and that poor designs didn't come through the system and started running, because we're always interested in protecting the student and making sure that the student experience is as good as we get. And today, the first part of the day was focused on, and having done that, how do we, on a regular basis, evaluate the effectiveness of what we have done? Can we do the annual monitoring through course reports and secure the standards? And most importantly, can we take initiatives to record how we're going to make improvements in the future?
I brought a team from GS department here with me to get the knowledge and start soon after the training to deliver and exchange the experience with my colleague in the department. The good thing about this workshop is the presenter actually. He's a very well organized person and experienced guy.
Having such workshops and courses on writing measurable learning outcomes is not only a benefit for the single teacher or for the students only, but it's for the whole institution, the whole sector, because it helps developing courses, it helps us better understand the requirements of the working environment. Therefore, we can build more effective teaching methodologies based on the planned and developed syllabuses. Professor Peter, he really did a nice job, and I really thank him for that. Specifically the role play. When he puts you in an authentic situation or a semi-authentic situation, that will help us digest the information, or the whole thing about the processes, the cycle, the needs analysis, and the whole stays involved in developing outcomes, syllabuses, and even curriculums.
We have to look at our courses now in a deep way. We have to enhance actually the course syllabus that we have, to match the criteria for NCAA. Now we have the knowledge, now we have the guidelines. Now we have actually the required information. What we have learned from this workshop, one of the objectives should be in any course that you have to look at the industries. You have to match, or at least to please the market needs. So if we know what does the market need, then we will have objective that could satisfy that need. And from that we will have, I would say, a powerful product. I mean the students.
After going back to the department, I got to make like a seminar or presentation in order to deliver what I have learned to our colleagues and friends.
There's a paradigm shift from teaching center to student learning center approach of teaching. So in that case, there's a requirement from all the accreditation body to come up with the learning outcomes of the students which are required by the industry. Industry has become more demanding in terms of the quality of the graduates and the skills they require them to come up with in order to fill the gap of the industry which is requiring a certain set of skills. So this workshop actually was aimed to make people aware of what learning outcomes are, how important learning outcomes are for a program to be more attractive, more purposeful for the graduates as well as for the industry.
Programs which are developed has to comply with certain requirements of industries. They have to take in many consideration, or I would say needs of the industry, for them to be able to produce graduates which are competent for the industry or ready for the job markets. Now, in order for them to do this, or colleges or any institutions to do this, now they have to draft out, specific learning outcomes, or I would say outcomes, which will produce graduates of their particular needs. All right. So that is where when a student enters into a program, he will be molded or trained into such a environment or such a needs for the environment. Now, how do we train them is when we have specific goals, okay, translated into what we call learning outcomes. We also receive a lot of feedback from the floor, from faculty members, what should be amended, what should be added, what should be removed into the procedures and all this. So, apart from just looking at the inputs from the workshop, but we also get a lot of feedback from the floor itself. Okay, what is the ground reality is happening down there?
Today we were focusing the whole day about the approval process. So there was a role playing and how to form the panel for review and what is everyone role in this panel. So let's say that it was a good simulation for us. It makes us aware. It shows to us how is the way to deal with such a challenge.
Any institution that decides it really wants to do this can achieve it within Saudi Arabia. It's a case of commitment, it's a case of good, strong leadership from the top, and with those things in place and the keenness of staff to actually deliver, this is achievable.